Your biological father abandoned you and your mother on the day... Oh, wait, sorry. Your biological father abandoned you and your mother on the day of your birth for another woman. 25 years later, he arrives at your doorstep asking for a place to stay. Do you allow him to stay or not? And we'll start with John Doe. John Doe.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, hello. Yeah, so that's a very tough question, first of all. Yeah, I really don't know if I would let him stay or not, because like what's the circumstances? Like, can I be sure it's my father? Like, did I already meet him? Did I see? Like, it could be anybody. So like, I'm a bit confused over the question because I just wouldn't let a stranger come in my home, even if he claims to be my father 25 years later. Yeah, my answer would probably be yeah, no. I will probably not let him stay.
All right.
I wouldn't mind him.
Oh, sorry. Okay, thank you, John Doe. We lost John Doe.
Zicky boy.
Zicky boy.
Hey, yeah, so in this one's kind of relates to me a little bit. See, I've been I'm 16, almost 17, and I've been in foster care almost my whole life. And if my biological father came up to my doorstep, I probably would let him in to ask questions, why he did this and why he put my birth mom through so much I guess stress and stuff. So I'd let him in. I don't know if I'd let him stay for too long, but I would want to ask why he left and what made him leave and why he didn't come back sooner. But yeah, that's kind of what I would say.
Awesome. Thank you, Zicky boy. Let's go to Sharon SK. I love it when we get life experiences here. Yes, hi.
Hey,
nice uniform.
So I don't have... Great minds think alike. Thinking that I don't have the personal experience that Zicky boy has had on this question, but I would think that I would treat him as any random person who drops in. I mean, it also depends on whether I have a father, biological or not, somebody who's looking after me. That's more important. If I don't have that kind of a father figure in my life, then I'd probably want to sort of get to know him and see if there is any possibility of this person becoming that. But I would like to think of him as an absolute stranger and set the foundation from there to see if I can trust him. I mean, if it's allow him to stay permanently, is it just for one night or 2 nights or something like that? It depends a lot. But I'll treat him as a stranger and try to build the foundation from there.
Awesome. Thank you, Sharon.
Thank you.
Yellow Majesty.
I actually think I pass on this question.
All right.
Sure.
Let's go to J-Space.
J-Space, would you like to speak or pass?
Hello. Actually, after 25 years of not talking to my father, I actually would let him come and stay. Honestly, I'd want to get to know him so I could tell my kids and about their grandfather. So yes, I'd let him stay. I'd love for them to know their heritage.
Awesome. Thank you, J-Space.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Big J417. Feel free, you have the opportunity to speak or pass. Like I said, some of these questions are going to be a little bit sensitive. They're going to be spicy, others are going to be raunchy. And that's just the point, is we need the platform where we can open up and listen to others with these situations, where you don't just talk to, you know, somebody on the street about these issues. Big J 417, hello.
Hello. So I haven't been put into this position in my own life, but what it has me thinking about is if there's no way he would be as vulnerable and in need of care as a newborn baby, a child would be. So if he is willing to leave someone who's vulnerable and needs to be taken care of, then he has to take the consequences of himself being vulnerable and being needed to be taken care of as well. So I feel like if they're willing to do that, then they should be willing to have the same reciprocated when it's them who's in need. So
Thank you very, very much. Starbound Sally, megaphone is yours.
Yeah, hi, thank you. I do have some experience with this. My father left when I was very little, and my little brother had been born. I was only 2. My brother was an infant. And our mother had actually given us the option. She had said, "I just got a call from your father, and he wants to see you. What do you want to do?" And I was given that choice to allow him back into my life, and I accepted, and it turned out pretty bad. However, I am 26, so this question does hit a bit close to home, and it is a very good question. But if my father were to show up on my doorstep tonight, I would not turn him away, despite what has happened in the past. And, I mean, if he had just abandoned us and I had never met him before, I would still allow him in, and as the previous others have spoken, build up that foundation and, you know, see what happened in his life so that I can put the pieces together and kind of figure out from my perspective what I think would be right and wrong in my moral stances. My mother could have raised me, you know, or my dad could have raised me, and morally when we grow up, it becomes a lot different on why we would want them to stay or not. And it's very important that, you know, blood may be thicker than water, and it's a saying, but if your father hits you or, you know, leaves you somewhere or something, some other abusive thing, it's not love, it's manipulation, and it hurts a lot of people. I digress. I'm getting off topic. Yes, I would allow my father to stay and make sure that he got on his own feet. I wouldn't kick him back out. I've been homeless, and that's absolutely horrible. I'm up here in Wisconsin, so it's very cold. It can get up to -40 in one night. So
Wow.
it's pretty dangerous. Yeah.
Thank you for that. Awesome. Azzy.
Yes, it's a good question, but a little bit hard to answer because there are so many factors. Like, what are the relationships between you? What about your second parent, like your mother, your father? There are so many factors. But anyway, I think I want to believe that I would treat this man as like a friendly, random person, probably. Yeah, like a stranger. But I would be like friendly. But at the same time, I try to judge people by their actions, like by their treatment. If he feels sorry for like missing all my childhood, basically 25 years, it's a grown person. I would be grown and independent, so I wouldn't need, I hope, this, you know, why did you leave us and all those scandals, anything. I want to be friendly and reciprocal, like being given, like a given person. So I would definitely give a chance to the like person in the first place, to show up and catch up maybe. And I would judge by the behavior on the spot. Like if he behaves and wants to be friends with me and come together again, like you reunite, why not? I would love to. The more good people you have in your life, the more like souls you have in your life, the richer your life will be. Maybe it won't be perfect because it's 25 years later, but at the same time, why not? You will miss this moment. However you decide to do in that situation, you will regret anyway. If you get them out, like get this person, like if you say no, you will regret that. If you say yes, maybe you will regret that too. So better do that than, think about those things you could have done. So yeah, I would give another chance. Why not?
Thanks, Azzy.
Thank you.
Now Z took my thunder, and I'm lost to speak. But yeah, that was beautifully put. Thank you, Azzy.
Thank you.
Dr. Sam.
Dr. Sam.
Timon, yes, once again, a very difficult question, a very emotional question, and those who gave life experiences, of course, touches the heart. So, unlike a Z, I would inquire, why did this man abandon us? Because I think I would have gone through my entire life asking that question, why did my biological father abandon me and my mother? And I would listen to the explanation. And if there was genuine remorse, because people do change, if there was genuine remorse, I would, taking men, I would give him a place to sleep for the night. I would then explain to him that there probably is no future in our relationship, because as somebody eloquently pointed out, you abandoned a baby that is vulnerable, that cannot help themselves, and therefore I would probably follow Big J 417's line of thinking and say, you know what, there are consequences, but I'm happy to support you for a few days, but I don't think there's a relationship for us. Thank you, Timon.
Pleasure, thank you. Actually, it was
Thank you,
Dr.
Dr.
Sam who provided this wonderful idea, and then we just worked around it. So thank you, Dr. Sam, for this lovely social dilemma. Let's go to Ultra Funky Claves.
I see this as a mathematical thing, because we don't know which birthday the father left. And I was thinking, if you're 5 years old, that means that you're 30 years old when he comes back at your doorstep. 30 years old is an age when I wouldn't want to go. Okay.
We can hear you.
You can hear me? Oh, I got to be. I
Yes.
was muted. Okay, sorry.
No.
So I was thinking, like, when you're 30 years, I don't want to go back to my 30 years when I was that age, because I had so many thoughts about things and it was so hard. I had to grow up, I had to mature, I had to do a lot of things. And if somebody comes into my life when I'm 30 years old, like a father figure that maybe has some experience to give me, I would like, that would be really great, But depending on, you never know what he's going through, if he's a bad guy or if he's a good guy. But I presume that he just left my mother for another woman, so he should be okay. And then I think if you were 15 years old when this was happening, that means that you're 40 years old. That's 10 years more under the belt, more. And then you would probably want to know about your history. So I would again say, like, he's welcome into my life, just for me to learn more things about myself and what happened. So that could be a really, really good thing. And also the mathematical, if I was 5 or if I was 15, still he gave either 5 to 15 years of his life to my life from the beginning. So why shouldn't I be able to give him a couple of days, to show who he is, and accept him for those days to see if we have a possibility to continue on. Those things. Just giving the background, I had a mother that behaved a little bit like this when I was young. It was really tough. She had to sleep outside, she was homeless. Nobody wants to take her in because she was toxic. And of course, then I can understand that that's a problem, but everybody can change, and everybody are allowed to change and to change their minds. So why should this person be the same he was as he was 25 years ago? So I wouldn't think for a second, I would bring him in. Yeah, directly.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's go to IC Kenny 92. You have the opportunity to speak or pass.
Can you hear us? Would you like to speak or pass?
All right, let's
I
go
hear the sound, I can't hear
to
anything.
Carp
Okay.
DM.
Yeah. As Dr. Sam noted, I do want to thank those who've shared personal experiences with this kind of thing. Ultra Funky, Star, hello from a neighbor in Minnesota. Much like in my previous response, I'm pretty much always willing to hear someone out, give them an opportunity to explain themselves, to show if they've changed or not, as long as I didn't consider there to be a safety hazard in letting the person stay. If there was a safety hazard, I might just give them a little cash and tell them to go get a hotel for the night or something. But as long as I felt it was safe, I'd let them stay and kind of see where things go and give them a chance. People change.
All right, thank you, Carp DM. Nice answer. And then we have Mr. Ghost Ant.
Yep. I reckon he's blood, you know, and blood you got to give blood another go. It's not just like a friend, you know, that abandoned you for 25 years. This is actually part of your genetic makeup. So yeah, give him a go, and if he's okay, let him stay. If he's an arsehole, then tell him to leave.
Benefit of the doubt.
Right.
Thank you. Ali.
I'm a bit confused about this. Knowing me, I'll take him in, sit and talk and see if he's safe to be in my house. But on the other hand, my rational mind says, you abandoned me as a baby and you left my mother all alone. Do you really deserve a second chance? But I don't know if I'll be able to sleep at night knowing that I did that. So I'll go with my initial answer, take him in, see what he's all about, if he's safe to be in the house and to be around. And I'd give him a chance and talk to him. If things were great, I'd give him a second chance.
All right. Awesome.
What about you?
Well, you know, I'm not really empathetic by nature. I'm more empathetic with how people can relate. But when it comes to my answer, I will weigh up the odds, I'll weigh up the differences, and I will work around an answer. And like, personally, I think there is a big difference between a biological parent and a father or a daddy. One is the biological reasons for your existence, and the second is the emotional, sentimental, unconditional love and connection you have with this person. So if this person hasn't been in your life during your life experiences, then he should not be seen as anything other than a friendly random stranger in the beginning. But if you believe that his intentions are good and you would like to rekindle a flame that's forever been extinguished, then maybe, you know, you never know, it could be a wonderful start to a new family and a new chapter, because you do have another 3 sets of 25, you know, to live. At my age, for example, and I'm sure many of you can relate, is that I don't need a father anymore, but I wouldn't mind a father figure. So I don't need someone telling me what to do and how to live my life, you know, and disrupt my own life experience. But I wouldn't mind having somebody to share that wisdom and guidance, you know, to go forward in life and to hear the experience that we have. Because not every day you can accept somebody of a lot older age into your life as a friend. And this person might just be a great opportunity to rekindle something new into your life, into a new chapter. But yeah, you give him the benefit of the doubt, listen to what he has to say, first obviously have evidence that he is your biological father, because if some old guy pops into my house in South Africa, you don't accept anybody until you see the papers. And then if he is, then yes, you give him give him money if he needs to stay, give him another place to stay. You know, you don't just welcome any stranger into your house because you don't know what his true intentions are, why he left. You know, you meet up not in the house, but you meet up in an informal environment. You know, you meet up at a coffee shop or something and you talk about it, rather than allowing his entire sentient being inside your place of residence and dwelling. So I don't know if I answered the question, but I would accept under certain conditions. So yeah, that's my answer.
Great caution. Yes.
Great caution. So if anyone has anything to say, or if you haven't spoken, please raise your hand now and we will give you the opportunity to speak. Rat Dog, we see your hand is up. Would you like to share your experience or answer or thoughts? If you're still here, Rat Dog. Larube, I see you're here, but you haven't spoken today. If you would like to speak, then please raise your hand.
Rat Dog, we've got you back.
Yes, Rat Dog.
Hey, can you hear me?
We can.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Thank you. I think I share I think different flavors with what a lot of people have said so far. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you for the personal stories as well. I think that always adds a lot of context to these discussions. I tend to agree with Ozzy that I would welcome him into my home, but really as like a good neighbor, neighborly thing to do. You know, being my father, obviously that would influence that, but, you know, and then to your second point, Ozzy, you know, 25 years is a long time. I think that people can grow, but more importantly, I think, you know, in this dilemma, you've only been told one story about your biological father, and I think you might regret not hearing their story, like their side, and then I think that the age that this happens to you, I think, is important also. You know, at 25, I mean, depending on your circumstances, you're really kind of on the cusp of adulthood in its entirety. But at the same time, you know, old enough that you've built your own life without him. So you don't owe him anything, you know? And in that, you know, any relationship is not your dad's to make. It's your own. You have hand in the situation. You know, it means you can set the terms. And I just think I would regret not having met my father and hearing their story. I mean, and I think it adds context, you know, to your life, and what you do with that experience in terms of a relationship, I think, you know, is at your discretion. But I think, you know, importantly, you get to set the terms. You're an adult now, and but I would regret not knowing that or having those questions answered.
All right, thank you very much. Great words of thought. Okay, ball out. I think he's gone because there is an opportunity. And if you guys have anything else to say, please raise your hand. I will go to Dr. Sam.
Timon, I don't think I raised my hand. I think this is an exceptionally good question. And sadly, the country that I live in, about 50% of men abandon their newborn children. So this is a real life situation in the part of the world where I live, and that's why I came up with the theme of this question, and I think you and Ali framed it very well, much better than I would have framed it. But for me, this is a real life situation that occurs in my country on a daily basis. Thanks.
And I mean, if there's some consolation, is that if you feel that you're going through it, at least know that you're not going through it alone. Like, this is very common. And maybe today you would have heard some thoughts and some seeds that would be planted in your mind to give you a little bit more comfort as to how you would approach the situation if it were to happen to someone you know or to yourself. So, you know, that's why we have these social dilemmas. Ali, I don't see anyone has raised their hand. So,
yeah,
that's it. Unless you guys want to mention anything from the previous one or the second one, I guess we're gonna have to end it earlier than normal, unfortunately. But remember, we have a robot. What is going on there? Okay. We have the moral dilemma coming up on Fridays, and we have the Oh My Brain discussion with science and philosophy and quantum mechanics. This week, I think you have to join Oh My Brain, all right? And the reason is because Ali and I have chosen our topic already, and that is the future benefits of virtual reality and how it will help you and how it will help the future. So please click interested wherever you see Oh My Brain. It's definitely something that you will want to come out on a Thursday. And because I'm leaving doesn't mean you guys have to leave. You can stick around, have a discussion, continue talking, befriend people, because there's some very nice, like-minded, intelligent people in this room, mostly well-behaved. I mean, we do always have some trolls, but what's an event without some trolls, right? So thank you very much for joining, guys, and for your time.
Thank you for being here.
The greatest thing you can give somebody is your time, and we really appreciate you being here. So what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to be... Oh, okay, so no one's muted.
Thank you.
All right. So thanks a lot. And once again, you can find us on VR Digital Citizens and find the recording and share it to people that you believe will help.